sticks to him, even though he's not overly moving quickly. He's just has the puck. He's got good poise with it, and he's smart too. You kind of can find ways to cut into the soft areas of the ice to have the puck a little longer. And we need him. I brought him in for a reason, and he started off slow. I think like pace for him, but usually when you got a brain on you and just the compete level for him is when he wants to compete, he's pretty effective. And the game went along a little. Like you said, started slow, but for him, it only grew from period to period.
You mentioned one of the keys to the series was the depth that separates this Chiefs club from Langley. Was that evident as much as you would have liked last night in Game 1?
Yeah, I was able to roll out our forward group and our D group more than them. They some of their guys played some big minutes for them. Some guys were up up in the 29 minutes area. So and that's because they're good players. But it's a long series, so. The whole idea is just, I think with our experience with our group and our staff, I think that's an advantage, to be honest with you. It's understanding that playoffs can be a grind, so and be a long series. So we're hoping that just our depth and we just keep rolling guys out, and just as long as we're playing responsible, that later in the series or later in periods and stuff, that we can have the puck a little more.
Brian, did you see what you expected from Langley in Game 1 last night, or was there anything different that maybe surprised you at all?
No, to be honest with you, not at all. I expected them to come in and play exactly like that. They got some good players over there. I think they've kind of flown under the radar a little bit, just from maybe in the public eye, or maybe in the interior league or something like that don't get to see these guys very often, but Tyler and his staff have done a really good job since taking the helm there, and they got some players. They got some really good players. I mean, Levy has been a really good player in this league, and he's a 50-point guy every year, so he can produce. And you're getting guys like Komarov and DMAC is playing well for them. So it's they got some really good players over there. That's never been the case, and they got some big D that understand kind of what they are. So, it's just they're good, man, and they check you well, and they play within their structure. And anytime you're doing that at this level, it's anyone's game. So it's if we can play within our structure, and then we match up with our depth, and we like our chances.
Tough to see Vladdy go down last night, just over halfway through the hockey game. Can we get an update on his status?
Yeah, he won't be going tonight. Just, again, like I've said, playoffs it's a long road, so just got to be careful with that a little bit and see if we can get on top of it. And right now he's day-to-day. I know our staff will be working their butt off to kind of make sure he's ready to go sooner rather than later, but we talk about depth and depth position. I think we have the three best goalies in the league. They've all proven that they can play at this level. So a lot of junior teams can't say that. And that was a thing for us that I wanted to do, is kind of shore up the goaltending position. Super confident with Austin going in here tonight. He's been there. If you remember, he was a big part of the start of our playoff push last year. So he's going to be leaned on heavily here.
And Brian, tonight we celebrate the life of longtime member of the Chiefs family, Roscoe Beebe, who suddenly passed away last week. Lots of Chiefs alumni in the building tonight, sharing some memories and kind of getting together and celebrating his life. Maybe share with us one of your fondest memories of Roscoe, as you played with the club as well in the mid to late 90s, and he did mean a lot to this organization.
Yeah, it's going to be an emotional one for me, Bonnie. He's really close, almost like a second father to me. It all kind of started off with him and I, to be honest with you. And then he got heavily involved with it after. And tough one. It's a man of a ton of patience, I'll tell you that much. You got to think about all these teenage boys kind of going through your house, and he seldomly raised his voice at us at all times. And I remember when the day I turned pro, I called him and shared that celebration with him. But I remember calling him to apologize on my behavior as a teenager. And honestly, we were all good kids back then, but just late nights and rowdy bunches and wrestling on the pool table and things that you wouldn't do as an adult. So yeah, just honestly a big heart on him. And helped us with a ton of stuff, just with all of us getting to school, and obviously golf clubs, and just making sure that we had everything we need to keep our dream alive. And he's a big reason why a lot of us were able to go on to school, and a small percentage of us off to pro. So missed, and just kind of a sudden shock too. Just was talking with him the night before, and he gets up and he goes golfing, and I'll chat with you later, and that was it. So bit of a sad one. He was him and my dad were pretty close too, so it was he'll be missed, not just in Chilliwack, but the amount of calls I've gotten through North America. You fail to, sometimes when you're that close to someone, Bonnie, you fail to realize how important they are for other people. And just all the phone calls I've gotten from people across North America is amazing.
Brian, I really appreciate it. Thanks for this.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Brian Maloney, head coach and general manager of the Chilliwack Chiefs. Coming up after the break, we're going to hear from Chiefs forward Harrison Bolt, who's not in the lineup tonight, but he'll also share some thoughts and reflect back on the life of Roscoe Beebe, who the Chiefs will honor as we celebrate his life at the top of the hour shortly before opening face-off of Game 2 tonight. It's the Chiefs and Rivermen coming up. BCHL opening round playoff series Saturday night from downtown Chilliwack. This is Produce Gone Wild Chiefs playoff hockey on 89.5 JR Country and the Chiefs Broadcast Network.
Welcome back inside the Chilliwack Coliseum. Vonnie DeBartolo alongside Chief forward Harrison Bolt as we inch closer to the top of the hour where Game 2 prior to puck drop we'll be celebrating the life of longtime Chief member Roscoe Beebe, who was an integral part of this Chiefs organization. And as we stand here together, Harry, you're wearing a hat that says Roscoe Forever a Chief. I love it, looks sharp. Maybe give us some of your fondest memories of Roscoe.
Yeah, anyone who's been involved in the Chiefs organization for the past 25 years knows what kind of person he is and how selfless he is. And one of the times, for one of the first times I met him, there was a player, Daniel Zhao. He was with us for preseason, but he needed a place to stay. So Roscoe, being the guy he is, he opened his home for Daniel with open arms. Welcomed Daniel into his home, and he told Daniel he could have anyone over. So me and Daniel were getting pretty close during that time. So Daniel asked me to go over. So I went over to Roscoe's house, and that's when I kind of first met Roscoe properly for the first time. So me and Daniel would play pool with Roscoe, and of course Roscoe he'd kick our butts in pool. But yeah, we played pool with Roscoe, sat in his hot tub, and he told us stories about him and his involvement in the Chiefs and his involvement in sending guys off to the NCAA and as well as his time in the Navy. But yeah, my favorite story about Roscoe was me and Daniel at his house. We were playing ping pong on his ping pong table, and we were playing with pieces of cardboard because the rackets were broken from former billets. So Roscoe must have seen us playing with the cardboard, and he went out of his way the next day and he bought us ping pong paddles and left them on the table for us. So that kind of shows kind of the guy he was and the selfless guy that he was, and it was really admirable. And you know, he's one of the biggest reasons that I am happy to call Chilliwack my home now. So
Harrison, that's great stuff. Great work as we continue to honor a good man in the community and within this Chiefs organization. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
That is Chiefs forward Harrison Bolt with sharing a fond memory of the late Roscoe Beebe, who the Chiefs will be honoring and celebrating his life in just a couple of moments' time here as we inch closer to the top of the hour. It is game number 2 of this best-of-7 series between the Chilliwack Chiefs and the Langley Rivermen. The Chiefs grabbed a 1-0 series lead courtesy of a Brady Milburn overtime goal last night in game number 1. We'll see if they can stretch that lead to 2 and keep home ice rocking here at the Chilliwack Coliseum. Downtown Chilliwack Saturday night hockey. Vonnie DeBartolo, Tyler Guerra, Virginia Lynn, and Ethan Allen back at the JR Broadcast Country Controls in downtown Chilliwack. Take a break and come back with more of the pregame show from the Chilliwack Coliseum. You're tuned in to Produce Gone Wild Chiefs playoff hockey on 89.5 JR Country and the Chiefs Broadcast Network.
tonight, Chilliwack Chiefs welcome to our Chilliwack forward, 7th player of the game, Ian Sewell. Folks, tomorrow is Green Shirt Day to honor the Logan Boulet effect and to support organ donors awareness and registration right across Canada. Ian Sewell is a liver recipient who received his gift of life when he was just 8 months old. To learn more how you can get involved, visit greenshirtday.ca. Thank you to Chilliwack Ford for your continued support of sports in our community. The officials for tonight's game, the referees Wyman Flynn and Montana Wright. The line officials, Thomas Way and Elliot Seafried. Hockey fans, a few weeks ago, we lost our beloved Roscoe Beebe, our longtime education advisor. Please turn your attention to the video screen where our head coach and general manager, Brian Maloney, tells the story of Roscoe's life and what he has meant to our team.
William Ross Beebe was born in Noranda, Quebec on June 2nd, 1951. Roscoe, as he was known to his family and friends, joined the Royal Canadian Navy at 18. His naval career took him all around the world. He spent time in the Canadian Arctic, in Europe with the NATO forces, and many years on the submarine HMCS Ojibwa. He retired in 1996 from the CFB Chilliwack after 28 years while serving with the Canadian Military Engineers. Retirement allowed Roscoe to start Chimo Golf, where he built and repaired golf clubs. He was an expert at the craft, making clubs for players across North America. With Chimo Golf, Ross could share in his passion for the game, connect with others, and make the sport more accessible. Retirement meant more time for his life partner Valerie. Nobody supported Roscoe more than his beloved Val. The two met almost 30 years ago through a mutual friend when Val was visiting Chilliwack for a figure skating competition. Instantly, they were best friends and knew they had something special. I personally met Roscoe in 1997 when Ross got a call from his old Navy buddy, my dad, Sergeant William Maloney, to see if Roscoe would be willing to be my billet dad when the Chilliwack Chiefs added me to their roster. Right away, Val and Roscoe made me feel like a member of their family, something they did for every player that came through their doors. Whether the player lived with them or they were just stopping by for their weekly pizza night and a game of pool, everyone was made to feel welcome. When I was going through the scholarship process, Roscoe became interested in the NCAA and the education path for athletes. He saw a gap for all these young athletes who needed help with their post-secondary path. Little did we know how much our league and team culture would be shaped by Roscoe. He quickly learned everything he could and became the first educational advisor in the British Columbia Hockey League. Roscoe helped me obtain my scholarship to Michigan State University, and I certainly wouldn't have had the career in hockey that I did without his help and guidance. His passion for education went beyond the Chiefs, though. He helped hundreds of athletes, no matter what league, no matter what sport, find their home in the NCAA and within youth sports. Once a player's time ended in Chilliwack, Roscoe continued to be our biggest fan. He visited many of us at our schools and pro teams and would chat with us for hours on the phone until his final days. The player that he spent the most time on the phone with was his former billet son and my buddy, Chief Captain Travis Bunga, who became an NCAA hockey and golf coach in a large part because of the relationship with Roscoe.
He loved hearing stories about what I was doing, what Tracy was doing, how the golf team was doing, how the hockey team was doing. As a man that's gone too early, I know he'll be there watching. And as you celebrate his life tonight, and the Chiefs move on through playoffs, I know you're always playing for that championship. But this year is do it for Roscoe.
Like I'm quite lucky. It's amazing how many people will keep talking to you, even though they've gone, might be gone. Like I still talk to kids that are gone 20 some odd years ago.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, I've been doing this for 26 years. Now all of a sudden, I got this guy coming up. And he said, "Oh yeah, I'm 33." I'm saying, "What?"
Yeah.
You know, you don't realize that time flies.
Thank you to the color card from the Royal Canadian Legion 295 Chilliwack Vetter, featuring some of Roscoe's closest friends. Please join us in welcoming Roscoe's wife Valerie, his nephew Christopher, and niece Claire, surrounded by many of Roscoe and Val's billets and Chiefs alumni. Could we please get both captains to center ice for a ceremonial puck drop? Thank you. The Chilliwack Chiefs would like to take a moment to acknowledge that we're honored to live, work, and play on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Stolo Coast Salish peoples. At this time, can we please ask you to rise, if able? Please remove your hats for the singing of O Canada by the Standacona Band of the Royal Canadian Navy in honor of Roscoe.
Celebrating the life of the late Roscoe Beebe, an integral part of the Chilliwack Chiefs family and organization. Gone, but never forgotten. We'll take a break and come back. Opening face-off of game number 2 is next. You're listening to Produce Gone Wild, Chiefs playoff hockey on 89.5 JR Country and the Chiefs Broadcast Network.